Well, I certainly hope that we have blown your mind just a wee bit this morning with this little wake-up call we call the Coyote Medicine Show here on the Hazy Radio Network. Rockin'est network you ever found. Happiest hearts on this side of town. How about over on yours, babies? Is your heart starting to dance with the rest of us? Oh, I reckon it's so. That's what we do here on the Coyote Medicine Show. We unify, and then we fly, because we get to dancing and just get so high, man. Can't help it. So here's to you guys, babies. Each and every one of you, for the love that you are. With my official Mary Jane mug, I salute you once again from my ever-loving little heart, which is, woo, the whole universe for a start. Oh, yeah. And for all the life you've lived and for all that you've given here, babies, oh, let me just make it clear. We, the angelic realm, and I, the old Grandpa Coyote, love you really dear. I mean, as good as love can be. Righteously, babies. Each and every one of us. Geez, oh, it's us? Yeah, it sure as hell is. Each of us, the very juncture of life, man. The source of creation. Radiating forward from the mother love of this great planetary reality we call Gaia. The Earth. The mother love. The mothership inside the mothership inside the mothership inside the mother love, which is a mothership. A reality inside of a reality inside of a reality inside of the reality, which is all of those realities combined. And we live them all at one time in one place. It's kind of like we're right at the center of all that, you know, universally united with every moment, every specter of it, every little speck of life of it, because we unite at the center. That's where our dance takes place, right at the middle of everything. It may seem like some little bar room or dance hall or back room or bedroom or wherever you happen to be dancing with us, you know, but it's really just us in flight, us in motion, a single heart of creation with emotion, which means emotes life forward through its feeling, you see. So the more we get feeling, the more we're unreeling the divine mystery of this great heart that lives inside of our hide. Each and every one of us take that ride together, unified. Yeah, baby, that's the ride that old Clyde here is going to take with you, and so's old Mary Lou, and the rest of us too, man. Hey, Kiki, you want to ride? I got a horse for you now, baby. A real fine steed, man. It won the race before it even started, you know. That's how good this horse is, man. And you talk about a sure-footed thing in the mountains. Well, this is a mountain pony you want to be riding on, you know, when you head for the big one, man. You betcha. You know, when you head out across for the sunrise, man. This is the steed you want to be abreast of, because, babies, it's the mother love, and it's divine and steady and pure and true. It's the pale horse of love, and it's riding for you. But let me tell you, it's got a spot or two. It's a pinto, don't you know? Got to be add a little bit more to that pale horse to make it colorful, you know. It's the very same one I rode when I was just a tiny kid of 5 to about age 8, you know, for about 3 years. Me and this horse went steady at this one ranch up Hobble Creek Canyon back there near Springville, Utah, where I grew up. A family named Sumption it was. Goodness gracious, I'm remembering things I thought I'd forgot a long time ago. But they owned this ranch up there, and we always did their thrashing for them. They had about, maybe 100 acres under cultivation there, so they had a lot of thrashing to do. So we'd be there for like several days, you know, 3 to 7 days about, and there's a big crew, you know, big crew of men that goes with that thrashing machine. It's a huge operation, man. Nothing like these combines that you see out there chewing up the grains these days. Just chomp it down and spit the chaff out the back, and the wheat and barley and shit out the spout, and away you go, man. You can even do it on the go. You don't have to stop those things. They replaced a crew of about 30 men right there with that one great big old gigantic gargantuan machine that gobbles up the granaries, man. And sends the grain to the granary zone onto the big trains that take it all over to China. Well, what they're doing with it over there, I don't know. It's mass insanity, if you ask me, you know, this overproduction. But that's another story. So anyway, back at the ranch, Me and this horse introduced to one another when we was 5 years old, you know. I always went with Daddy when we went thrashing, you know, and most often I would have to, like, work in the field driving the tractor so that the guys could load the shucks on there, and then I'd take it over to the thrashing machine so the guys could chuck it off, you know. It was the easiest job for a 5-year-old. The only hard part was trying to hold that clutch down on them old international tractors, that old Super C. It had a spring on that clutch that'd kill you, man. So I was really challenged in that area, but I got it done somehow. I only knocked a guy off the wagon a couple of times with a little buck and takeoff. I couldn't help it, man. I tried to let that darn clutch up easy, and wham, that spring just grabbed me, and my knee would buckle and buck up with the tractor, and off the wagon would come the guy stacking the shucks, poor guy. Never broke anything, thank goodness, but, you know, that's the price you pay for having a little kid trying to do a big man's job. So. But anyway, long story short, on this particular occasion at this ranch, I didn't have to do that, man. I was very blessed, you know. So the dude lined me up with his horse, this beautiful, I mean, this is guy's about 16 hands tall, you know, of a Mustang breed, more or less, and, you know, old wild horse blood, and probably bred into a little bit of quarter horse, too. So a bit of a hybrid that way, but oh my God, what a soul saint it was, you know. I mean, I was so little at 5, I had to climb up the shanks to get up into the saddle, you know, or get him up next to a tree so I could climb the tree and flop down into the saddle. I'd do that sometimes, too. He was patient. He'd do that for me. This guy and I clicked the moment we met one another. That horse and I had a connection that went back to where there wasn't hardly any horses, when he and I were probably the first horse and rider in the whole wide world to ever be ridden together. You know what I mean? Something like that, you know. I'm an ancient saint, ancient soul, and some kind of primary experience like that existed between me and this guy, this beautiful Pinot horse. God, he had just the right markings. Tall, muscular, sure, confident, and best of all, totally connected with this tiny little child that bounced around up there in the saddle trying to learn how to wiggle his ass into something that don't fit. We'd spend days and hours out there in the sun riding around that ranch and up in the mountains beside it. And, you know, we'd stop at the pond there and go skinny dipping. And oh, that was cold water, but it felt so good, you know. It was just an idyllic life for a brief amount of time. But then, you know, every chance I got, I would get back to the Assumption Ranch and connect with his horse, and I started bugging Daddy to buy it, and of course he tried, he really did, but the guy wouldn't sell him. But I've been promised since then, you know, since that horse and I had such a great connection, and we really weren't able to completely unify in this life in the way we had in other lives. Well, I've been told that, you know, that steed is coming back to me in my old days here, you know, and probably in the form of another equine, of course, but probably the pale horse of love, wouldn't you say? The one I'm riding on today, right along with you. Look at that, man. I think we're up to 32 on its back now, man. And there's plenty of room for more, man. And it's the most comfortable ride. You can't possibly fall off. Let alone ever be bucked off. This horse don't buck. You don't know how to buck, man. It forgot that stuff a long time ago. It's a pale horse of love. Love in motion, you know. The one we've been dancing with as we made our way across this ocean of love and got it clear, baby. So it's the new clear way, yes, babies, riding on this Pinot pony of today. The same one with which we used to play when we just a tiny child one day and made that connection with that grand steed that says, baby, I'm always here and I'll always fulfill your need. I'm the steed MJ, and she's here too to help you along the way. And she sent me and I sent you, and babies, we all doing what we do. And it's fun too, ain't it? Yeah. Giddy up and let's go. Get on with this Coyote Medicine Show here on this hazy radio network. And there inside your heart, maybe the living work of art coming back to life. Oh, and you're such an artisan, baby. You rock. You roll. Best of all, you unificate with my soul. And my heart is in it. Wow. Now don't bring a grin to your face, a little sweat on your eyebrows there. It's union time, baby. It's reunion time here as we sip on this Coyote Medicine, dear. Yes, indeedy. And get it really clear. By the way, now, if you haven't been over to the coyoteclub.com lately, you need to get over there. I've been doing a little fixing up on it, you know. I sat down yesterday morning and recorded this little video. I was going to just put it on the website. It's called The Bullshit Reality. What a great title. I loved it. Because it's real. You know, the bullshit is real. And so the reality is bullshit. Until you get to the real reality, which ain't bullshit. Which includes the bullshit reality. Oh, the coyote way, the coyote medicines, the coyotes at play. Yes, indeedy, that's what you get here each and every day. And if you enjoy the dickens out of it, well, as we do, well, babies, you know, here's what else you do. You get on over to the coyoteclub.com and take a look around. I've been adding and subtracting and multiplying and dividing over there and trying to get things up. The one thing I don't have a whole bunch of just yet, in fact, none at all, is downloads. I'm trying to get to where I can, you know, market some downloads of the audio portions of this here program, man, so you guys can keep up when you can't listen in, or catch up, you know, and listen to it again, you know. Keep your heart in the flow, don't you know? So that's the one I haven't done over there. But, you know, we're getting ready for some rather divine projects. We're trying to get those underway this year. You know, I've been running this thing on a song and a dance and a happy heart, and of course it works, you know, and I've been able to add stuff as I've needed it technologically. I'm getting really equipped little by little, man. Just keep upgrading. Adding this, adding that. Change the whole reality here in my little studio, Spaceship Love, 9,000 feet high in the Rocky Mountain sky. And babies, you know, it's a whole lot more free-flowing here now, in case you haven't noticed. Since I just did a little thing like rearrange some furniture and stuff, you know. Wow, it's amazing. And then, you know, that energy catches on and others start doing it. All of a sudden, this neighbor shows up out of nowhere yesterday, shovels off me and my neighbor's walkways, man. Wow, what a beautiful day, man, you know. What a great way to play. What a great time to be alive and be in communion with other hearts. And then a couple more friends showed up last evening. We hung out and had some laughs and good time, man. You know, things are starting to come back to life here in this reality, man. And then, you know, this one friend of mine called just before those other friends showed up. Wow. Talk about union, man. I tell you, there's some that gleam in our eyes, you know, and heart that just, you know, beats steadily together. It's wild, man. And you start to see that then everywhere. It starts, you know, between 1, 2, 3, whatever it is, and it just grows from there, you see. Wow. So it's all about this unification that we're all going through. And babies, if you want to help us keep on doing this, you know, keep on expanding and growing, you know, get on over to thecoyoteclub.com and see what we can do to help you, and see how you can share with us too. Babies, it's all expanding and grandstanding. In other words, letting it glow so that people know the heart is real. That, you know, mysticism and spirit ain't just something you talk about on Sundays and forget about on Mondays. That's the old ways, babies. The new ways are you live it. You don't have to believe anything. You don't have to, you know, accept the Pope or anybody else. You know, you don't have to have a personal savior, because you are your personal savior. Jesus us, you know. I mean, come on. Each and every one of all of your ancient prophets, and the newer ones too that you haven't recognized, every one of them said the same thing. Show you the same thing. Look, if I can do this and I'm a retard, what about you? You know? That's what they're saying. They're not saying, surrender all your sins to me, Jesus. They're saying, you got to be okay. You got to see the reality of loving truth in every element of your life, and it will purify your way and bring you back to life. And you'll never have to worry about anything. You'll never have to try and outrun any guilt or any fear ever again. You'll have complete and total, not only confidence, but complete awareness of your stage in creation, your state, and the state of creation about you. You'll know all of it. Because this is what we do. This is what we feel. This is who we are. And it's getting kind of real, see? That's when the rubber hits the road. It's when the magic becomes the reality. Then you know it's real. then you know it's not something you just imagine into being. You're not a delusional being. But if you are, those are some good, pretty grand delusions. Keep dreaming them, please, because this is truth coming into being. And babies, if that's a delusion, or an illusion, let's just see what remains as truth. Retrains our eyes and our experiential heart. And we begin to glow in this truthful way and live in a truthful way, because that is the power of love in motion. Well, babies, we'll just see what remains here after all of that. As we continue to expand, anything that's not real, anything that's illusionary, has to reveal itself and be done with. Because the eyes only see truthful things. So the untruthful passes away. That which has so challenged us and so kept us in this state of constant change and constant growth, even though we felt sometimes like we were sinking in the mud and about to drown in the shit, That was some of our best times. When you were going down, your heart was coming up. You were cheering yourself on as you sunk into that stinky old swill pile, But you come out of that so alive. You come out of that more determined than ever, but it was a tiny little feeling, a kernel, a nit of a seed that began growing inside from those dark moments, that day that you tried to waste away, Well, darlings, it didn't happen, did it? You wasted something else that day. You turned a corner and brought yourself back in the direction of the heart. The mother love that unifies in all, the ocean of love that is the mother love. You see, it's a plasmatic thing, kind of. It's the very essence, the light essence of life, from which all life derives its shape, form, and activity. And what would activate that into being except for a divine, nurturing need to bring forward creation again and again and again, and just keep it expanding and growing and see how far this experience can take us. Do we ever reach this nirvanic state where we're just static and we just let it be? Well, that's how creation grows, because we let it be what it wants to be. We let it be the flow of the heart. We trust it genuinely, because it has proven itself to us again and again. It's carried us through the darkest days as well as the brightest. It's carried us through each and every song we've sung, some that were pretty low and some that were pretty high, It's carried us through all of the ugly shit we could create for ourselves to remind ourselves of the poetic beauty in the life we're living. It's amazing how we've used this reverse psychology on ourselves again and again in a spiritual and mystical way, you see. It's coyote medicine through and through in this life. The joke's always on you, always on me too. Why shouldn't it be, man? We're the ones that created the joke. It better be on us, huh? So that's our happy little reminder this morning. And also get on over to thecoyoteclub.com. And I really do. I'm having this vision that, people have been trying to get me to come out and do this anyway. But, I'll be your DJ. You want me to come and host a party? Send me a PM, babies, and we'll arrange something. I'll probably put something on the website about that, too. So, and the other feature I'm adding to the website, well, it's already there, is the TV show, Mary Jane Gateway to Paradise. We have a 2-hour TV show on Friday nights on the Conscious Consumer Network. You got to be there, babies. 2 of the most beautiful, wonderful hours, just like this old medicine show, only just a little bit more, because we got no limits. We just go where we want to go with that one, you see. So we can do light, dark, and everything in between, And we're unraveling some real fun stuff over there. So long story short, on thecoyoteclub.com, on the Coyote TV page, every week I'm going to change that out and put up a video of the last show we just did, so you can stay up with it. You just got to tune over to the Coyote Club, and there it is. You can do, or you can cue it up out of YouTube right off of that page too, however you wish to do it. I like watching them on YouTube a little better because the screen gets big. I don't like them when they're just a little tiny postage stamp of a thing on a little portion of your screen. That ain't much fun. You might as well sleep, and just listen. Well, that's not bad too. Just do what you got to do, but spend some time with us there, because It's part of our unification too. We're just getting her together here as sweetly and as rapidly as we possibly can. You know, we're encouraged on by this urgency, this feeling of urgency that comes to us from the universal heart. And it's not necessarily a pressure or a burden or anything like that. It's just this sense that, wow, let's get it on. There's a rising excitement in the reality. And it just keeps saying, wow, let's get it on, let's get it on. And not everybody even knows what they're getting on with, but they know it's changing. Everybody does. People are challenged beyond belief these days. Just to live an everyday life is excruciating. You know, you can't do it anymore. It's working against you. And if you continue in that way, well, it'll just keep pushing back until it throws you the hell out. You see, you can't live that way anymore. Life has dictated it to be otherwise. And what is life? Your own heart in motion. Your own creation. You're creating these difficult circumstances so that you can complete your cycle with them and move on. And don't have to live in difficulty anymore. You can let that portion of the coyote medicine go. You don't have to be tormenting yourself in order to be happy. It's a sick psychology that puts it that way in the first place now, ain't it? I would think so. Babies, you know, we're us little cowboys and cowgirls just learning how to ride, man. And that little pinto we're riding is teaching us what riding is all about and showing us how it is to be in complete and total communion with the life that you're living and the horse you ride upon. Because that's an extension of your life, too. Realize it or not. And then you see beyond the horse and the saddle to the trees and the fields and the mountains around you and the lakes and the rivers and streams and everything that is. And you realize your unity with that too. Because you're riding that pale horse of love, even if it is a pinto. Sweet ride, eh? Oh, I would say. Okay, guys, this is perfect, man. I love it. The Cars, babies, right here on the Coyote Medicine Show, only on that radio network called Hazy, babies. You want to get it clear, tune in here, hazyradio.com, with Grandpa Coyote and the Coyote Medicine Show. Weekday mornings, babies. Ooh, and they're not so weak now, are they? These days, not at all.
I dance the dance